The most powerful secret. Hi, I'm Ronny Engelke. The most powerful secret will give you superpowers, basically, once you figure out what the secret is. Now, this strategy idea that I will be revealing to you can be used in any of your endeavors in life. In any. Even though I'm going to talk about the future training, what this training is about, you can apply this initial thinking to anything you want. To apply to anything you want, okay? So, real quickly, the number one thing that stops us is fear. The number one thing that stops us in fear in life ain't. Let's say you want to ask somebody out on a date. What stops you from asking them? Fear. You want to get a raise. What stops you? Fear. You're going to give a speech. What stops you from getting a promotion? Because you didn't take the action of giving the speech. Fear stops you. So, I came up with this little model. It took me some time to figure it out. I had to reflect back on my life. When I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure when you were a kid as well, you did anything. You could do anything. You did anything. You had no fear. The only thing that we are scared of is loud noises, right? And the fear of falling. That's it. That's the only fear that we are born with. Anything else, as time goes on, you learn to fear things. You learn to fear things. So I thought, when I was a kid, how was I able to accomplish so many amazing things? What was it that I did? What was it? And that's what I'm going to be giving you. It took me many, many years of reflecting on my life of how I was able to do that when I was a kid. But then as I got older, I did less amazing things. So let's talk about your thinking. It's a little bit of a model that I created to explain this to you. And action. Thinking and action. Now, like I said, fear is what stops us. I'm going to make that huge. What's the opposite of fear? Confidence. Right? And there is different degrees of fear. There is a lot of fear that just so big that it stops action. Then you have medium fear. Then you have a little bit of fear. Right? And the same goes for confidence. You have a lot of confidence, you have medium confidence, and you have a little bit of confidence. You'll see what I mean, what I'm trying to explain. Now, this is what I came up with. If you have too much fear, if your thoughts are about fear, now this is all happening in your head. Fear and confidence, the struggle. The fight of, should you take the action? Should you ask that person out? Should you give that speech? Should you ask for that raise? Anything, right? So, action is affected by your confidence as well as your fear. If you have too much fear, it stops action. But then there's also different degrees of action. You have massive action, medium action, and a little bit of action. Just a little bit, right? But how do you overcome, initially, how do you overcome the huge fear? This is what came to me. This, I'm sure you've probably heard this somewhere, or you've seen it somewhere, you probably read it in a book, but I figured this out on my own of how I was able to overcome and diminish the fear and build up my confidence. Right? Here's the one word that I want you to use when you have the feeling of fear. I want you to ignore that feeling of fear. You have a goal, but you have fear. You should ignore that feeling. Any feeling that stops you from accomplishing your goal should be ignored. Another example, if you are bodybuilding and you're not supposed to eat any type of fast food, no sodas, no candy, no cake, you have to ignore those hunger pangs. You have to ignore those cravings. Ignore them because it's not helping you to accomplish your goal, right? So you're going to ignore the fear. You're going to ignore whatever feeling is going on in you that's going to stop you from taking action. But the first time you do something, so this is like a muscle. You build a muscle. So you're thinking, you apply, you ignore the fear, you take a little bit of action, right? But this little bit of action helps you build up your confidence. But here, check this out though. You still have fear, but you have confidence. Even though you have diminished fear, you still have it. How do you overcome that? You have proven to yourself that you can do it. You're able to ask that person out. You are able to give a speech the first time because you ignore whatever feeling was going on inside you. Nobody can tell. If you're about to give a speech, yeah, it's okay to feel nervous. It's okay. Nobody can tell that you might be shaking. Nobody can tell. And nobody can tell what's going on in your head. They don't have to know. So if you do it the first time, it affects your thinking. And now, because you are thinking you have a little bit more confidence, you take action again and you build up your action muscle. Now you build up more your confidence, and your confidence affects your thinking. And let's say you do it again, because you have a little bit more confidence. Now you have a lot of confidence, and you're able to take more action. And now you get more confidence. Eventually, what you want to do is, I don't know if you can overcome fear all the way, but you just know that whatever you're feeling, if it's not helping you, just ignore it. So now you want to be in this right here. Thinking affects the action, that affects the confidence. Pretty much you want to be on the outer circle on anything you want to do in life. Anything you want to do in life. The only way to get over it is by doing it. Do it. Just do it. I hope this helps you. Now, you know what? This is going to help you if you apply it. If you have fear of something, ignore the fear. Do it.